The Greek gyro, juicy spiced meat spinning on a vertical spit, sliced paper thin, then tucked into a warm, pillowy pita, a little blob of tzatziki, GG. But what most people don't realize is that the gyro that we're used to here in the US wasn't actually born in Greece. It was born right here in America. I know, wild. Today we're going to talk about how one unassuming city located smack dab in the middle of the United States took this otherwise exotic Greek street food and turned it into a national obsession. This city didn't just make the gyro popular, it reinvented them. It turned this humble street snack into a fast food staple and really set the stage for a national takeover. And the best part is, with a little bit of foresight and a slight amount of effort, you can actually make a pretty legit gyro at the crib. But first, a little context. Whether you call it gyros, gyro, doesn't matter. They're everywhere now. Malls, bodegas, hot dog stands, food trucks, you name it. But the story of how this vertical spinning meat hunk took over the world starts a long, long way from America. When the Ottoman Empire collapsed in the early 1920s, millions of ethnic Greeks were living in what's now Turkey. After the Greco-Turkish War ended in 1922, a massive population exchange forced over 1 million Orthodox Greeks back to Greece, while hundreds of thousands of Muslims were sent back the other way. Those displaced Greek families, many of which have lived under Ottoman rule for years and years, brought with them back to Greece a rich blend of food culture shaped by Turkish and Middle Eastern influences, including the vertical rotisserie technique known as doner kebab. Doner kebab. You've seen it. The Greeks adapted the doner kebab, but instead called it gyros, which means turn. And in Greece, the gyro totally evolved to become its own thing, separate from the doner kebab. Instead of lamb, the Greek gyro was made with usually pork, which in a society like Greece, where most people were Greek Orthodox, was totally acceptable, right? If you're Muslim and you eat pork, no bueno, that's haram, or forbidden. Over time, vendors began serving gyros in warm pita with tomato, onion, fried potatoes, or what we might call French fries, and of course that garlicky, cooling, awesome yogurt sauce, tzatziki. By the mid-1900s, the gyro had become one of Greece's most beloved street foods, especially in Athens. This is where Chicago comes in. Greeks have been in Chicago for a very long time. The first wave of immigration came in between the 1800s and 1920s. Many found their way to Chicago, where the city's booming industrial economy sort of offered blue-collar, steady jobs, and really the chance to build a new life. Classic American story. Fast forward to the second wave of Greek immigration, which happened after World War II. This was for many of the same reasons: economic turmoil, a war-torn country, hard to get a job. And by this time, like we just mentioned, Chicago already had this pre-built Greek community, restaurants, churches, clubs, basically a built-in network for new arrivals. It was this post-war generation that really helped shape Chicago's Greek-American identity, specifically its food scene, right? Greek restaurants opened up everywhere. I'm talking diners, fast food spots, proper restaurants. They perfected dishes like saganaki, great lamb, and ultimately introducing and refining, keyword, the gyro. So Greek immigrants started selling gyros here in Chicago sometime in the 1960s, and the city's beef-loving DNA changed everything. Pork got swapped for a blend of beef and lamb to cater to the country's lust for red meat and to avoid any dietary restrictions or religious restrictions. The meat got ground up into a smoother texture. Original gyro is kind of like al pastor in that it's like, flabs of meat stacked tall. This was an emulsified, more of like a sausagey vibe. Spices and herbs were added, and eventually the gyro cone, that huge meat hunk that you see spinning at any place that serves gyro, at least a self-respecting gyro, was born. In the early 1970s, a few Greek and non-Greek companies cracked the code on how to bring gyro to the masses. Around that time, electric and gas-powered vertical rotisseries replaced the old charcoal setups. That, combined with advances in cooling and freezing technology, companies like Kronos or Grecian Delight were able to suddenly mass produce and ship gyro cones nationwide. Consistent, ready to cook, and pretty much accessible to any diner across America. The result was a full-blown gyro boom, which started right here in Chicago. And that's why when Americans think of a gyro, they think of this version. A mix of beef and lamb, shaved on a Greek pita, stacked with veggies, and dripping with tzatziki. It's delicious as heck. I'd be remiss not to mention the many fast food Greek-owned spots that opened up all over Chicago. Places like Gyros, Nicky's, Central Gyros. These weren't just Gyro shops, they were sort of like neighborhood institutions. And they've become sort of their own subgenre in Chicago dining. Everybody's got their own spot. Comment your favorite below. Now, one of my favorite spots to get a classic Gyro is called Hub's. And yes, for all my old head classic comedy loving folk, you might know it from the SNL skit.
You like it a Jewish, eh?
What a cast. They have these massive menus. I'm talking ribs, chicken, burgers, spanakopita, baklava. Think big Midwestern portions, stainless steel counters, food made with real oomph. I'm telling you this because this is the spot that largely inspired the Gyro that we're gonna be making today. Before we get going, this video is brought to you by BetterHelp. You know, sometimes you catch yourself in the same loop doing the same exact thing, even if you know that it's not that good for you. I've been there. It's pretty wild how easy it is to fall into those same patterns and how hard it is to get out of them. So that's where therapy comes in. Having somebody to actually listen and help you understand what's behind those habits can help a lot. And BetterHelp makes getting started way, way, way easier. They'll connect you with a licensed therapist who's trained to help you figure it out, right? All you gotta do is fill out a short questionnaire and you'll get matched with somebody in a couple of days. And if it's not the right fit, then you can switch therapists at any time for literally no cost. Way easier. BetterHelp accepts both HSA and FSA cards, making it even easier to prioritize your mental health. In 2024 alone, 137,000 people use their HSA or FSA benefits for therapy through BetterHelp. So be sure to use yours before they expire. So if this is something you're considering, go to betterhelp.com/AdamWitt and you can get 10% off your first month. It's honestly been one of the best ways to kind of slow down, pay attention, kind of recenter myself, instead of just like running in circles and doing the same things over and over and over again. It's helpful, so don't be afraid to talk to somebody. All right, back to our meat cone. These are all the components for the Gyro. Starting off, we got our lamb and our beef here, right? We're going for a classic American Chicago style Gyro, right? So this is lamb shoulder, which has a pretty good fat ratio, which means juiciness. I just cubed that up, ran it to the grinder on the coarse setting, and that'll be great because we're gonna process this further. Then I did the same thing with our beef chunks to make ground beef. Speaking of juiciness, I have two elements here that you might have to pick up. They're not super common. The first you might be familiar with, meat glue, aka transglutaminase RM. It's gonna help bind the Gyro together and make sure that it stays in one singular loaf. Very important. This second ingredient is optional, but I will say it makes a massive difference. This is sodium tripolyphosphate, and your boy can't really read good. I'm definitely no Bill Nye, but I'll tell you that this allows the meat to retain and hang on to its juices more better. More better. Add a little bit of this to your meat mix and you're gonna have a juicier Gyro. I'll leave links below for both of these products if you wanna pick some up. They're from a company called Modernist Pantry, which has some amazing stuff. They make some incredible videos as well. This Gyro recipe is actually an adaptation from theirs. Moving down the line, we got our spices here. Just a bunch of stuff you might see in the Mediterranean. Some Greek oregano, parsley, thyme. Most notably, we got cinnamon in there, which sounds strange from a sort of an American perspective maybe, but the Greeks know how to use cinnamon in savory applications and it's dang good. Then we just got some chopped onion, garlic, and kosher salt for seasoning. This comes together pretty easily. Just a note here, when you're using meat glue, measure it right before you're actually going to make whatever it is you're making. Once opened, the second you take this thing out the freezer, the enzymes start to denature, making it less effective. So measure things right before you're about to mix the meat. All right, so into the food processor, we got our onion, garlic, and we gotta blitz that up. We want to make sure our vegetables are nice and chopped up, so push that down the sides and keep working it. Now we'll add in our lamb, our beef, all of our spices, and the kosher salt. Instead of using whole chunks of meat, I grind the meat up to make it a little easier on the food processor. Now we cover and run that for a bit. Do this until the meat starts to ride the blade of the food processor. Now we go in with our meat glue and our sodium tripolyphosphate. Same thing. Looking good. Good work. And your farce should look something like that. Kind of like sausage consistency, nice and sticky. Our mold is going to be this quart container. Just use something similar if you got some in this shape. I like to take some water, spritz it. This is gonna make the next step a lot easier. We're gonna lay on some plastic wrap, clean kitchen towel, just kind of pop that in. The water allows the plastic to slide and sort of adhere to the sides of the deli container. Yeah, look at that, boom. Now we can take our farce and slowly start to add it in. Don't do too much of this at once or else you're gonna have air pockets in your farce, right? You want this to be nice in sort of one piece. So I like to take, you know, half cup amounts and just kind of start pressing with my spatula, really making sure that it gets in the crevices. Also, pack it down. No air pockets in this here gyro. If it's giving you a hard time, you can wet your hand and just kind of go in, get nice and messy. We're cooking from the heart here. More meats. It smells super garlicky and yummy already. Once you're all packed up to the tippy, take the remaining overhang, curl it onto itself, give it a nice press. And you can see here, if you look around, we're really not seeing any big, colossal holes here, which is what we want. We want one solid loaf. Then I like to weigh it down with something on top, a little weight, a can of beans or something. And this goes into the fridge to let the seasoning run its course and let it firm up and solidify. Oh my God, would you look at that? I have a gyro cone already food networked. It's a lot to ask for a home cook to have an actual vertical rotisserie, whether it be gas, electric, or charcoal.
Cooking with gas. Cooking with gas.
We all cook better when we're cooking with gas.
What's not too crazy is one of these things. This is just a metal vertical standing spit that I got on Amazon for like less than 20 bucks. It's literally just a metal disc and a skewer kind of standing straight up. It unscrews so you can store it easy and all that. We're gonna use this today to make our gyro. I'm gonna place this on a foiled tray. And for extra easy cleanup, I'm gonna skewer that down. Pour another piece of foil. Beautiful. Little nonstick spray. So you can see here, weighed this thing down overnight. Just grab it by the plastic. You can just kind of finagle it out of its plastic prison. Oh yeah. And that's a loaf, if I've ever seen one. Look at that thing. A little gyro cone, and that can go directly onto the skewer. You can see the spices peeking through. There are minimal air pockets. It looks nice and smooth, loafed up. To cook this, I like to probe it first to read its internal temperature because we're cooking it to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to start hard and fast at 425 Fahrenheit for, 10, 15 minutes, and then finish it around 300 just to make sure that it's fully cooked through. Cooks a little more gently, just until it hits temp, which is going to be 160, 165 Fahrenheit. Every gyro sandwich needs vegetables. Classically, what you're gonna see here in the spots in Chicago at least are straight up tomato and onion. But you can get wild with it, right? Hit it with herbs. You can pop a little cucumber on there. Some people prefer red onion for the look. But today I'm keeping things classic. I'm keeping it close to hubs. Here we just got some vine ripe tomatoes, right? You can get these year round. They're just hothouse tomatoes. The bright, sort of acidic vegetal bite from the tomato is very pleasant in the sandwich. And I really want to experience that. So we're gonna leave these sort of on the thicker side, right? Now for the onions, I'm gonna use a mandolin to cut these super, super, super thin. And then we're gonna take it a step further and actually cut these into smaller pieces, just like they do at Hubs. And I noticed, I'm not 100% sure what it is on the onion at Hubs. It might just be a little fresh parsley. It might just be fresh oregano. But to kind of keep it, Greek-centric, I'm gonna use some dried oregano, some Greek dried oregano, and sprinkle that over our onions to kind of give them a little extra flavor and kick. And for the vegetables, that's really it, plain and simple. That looks about right. Can't have a gyro without lots and lots and lots and lots of tzatziki. It's gotta be one of my favorite sauces, and it's the easiest thing to make. So we're gonna do our best to emulate Hub's tzatziki sauce. On the board, we got some simple stuff, right? Greek yogurt. A lot of national brands like Chobani, Vahe, they only go up to 5% milk fat. If you buy one of the Greek yogurts that's made with whole milk, it's generally around 5%. This stuff I found at the store is 10%, which means it's creamier, it's more tasty. We love that. So try to look for a high percent milk fat Greek yogurt. Generally, they're pretty low fat, which is why all the, fitness influencers are obsessed with it. High in protein too. The next thing is dill, okay? Now, I'm pretty sure Hubs doesn't have dill in their tzatziki, but I love it so much we have to add it. Adam, why are you using dried dill and not the fresh stuff? I actually prefer dried dill in tzatziki because the moisture from all the ingredients, the cucumber, the Greek yogurt, it sort of like blooms the herb almost like a tea. So it's super concentrated dill flavor that's sort of awoken as it sits and kind of melds with the sauce. And then this guy. Persian cucumber, you can use any cucumber. I'm gonna leave some of the skin on and take some off. When I was inspecting the Hub sauce, I noticed green specks and I thought it might have been dill or parsley, but no, it was actually the skin of the cucumber, which adds a little more of a textural thing, a visual thing. This comes together very fast. Stripey cucumber. Just going to remove the seeds, bowl down, cheesecloth, box grater. We're gonna use the large holes. Good amount of cuke. I actually like to season those just a bit, help the moisture draw out even more and season them. Then we can remove all that liquid, at least a lot of it. And look what we're left with, a little ball of cuke. Salty cucumber juice. And we do this because otherwise all this moisture would be in our tzatziki sauce. And while cucumber juice is delicious, yum, just a little salty. It would dilute the flavor and make our tzatziki a little runny. Best to remove the moisture. So into a mixing bowl goes our full fat Greek yogurt, our beautiful, beautiful little ball of cucumber. We'll start with about half. Always add more later. A little garlic, some dried dill, plenty of lemon juice. It's gotta be tangy. And of course, a healthy pinch of kosher. Now we're just gonna mix that all together. Consistency's looking good, color's looking nice. Let's give it a taste. Good seasoning, good acid. That's nice, very garlicky. Just like anything else, as this sits, it will continue to develop flavor. So you can do this a day, 2 days in advance, and it's gonna be fantastic. You can sneak in a little bit of mayonnaise. A couple of the shops around town do that. You can just, they don't say it, but you can taste it. If you wanna get really, really wild, put a little pinch of MSG in this thing, make it extra savory, extra addicting. It's gonna be good. But for now, we're keeping it simple. Simple and classic. Every sandwich needs bread. And our bread today is pita, right? Greek pita. So there are a lot of different Greek breads. There are tons and tons of different breads from the Arab world. It's important that when you're making a gyro, you use a Greek style pita. This one does not have a pocket. It is flat. It's very, very soft. And that's because they actually add Greek yogurt to it. Well, that's one reason. These are surprisingly simple to make. I made these yesterday off camera. Basically, you're just gonna mix your dough, which again has lots of yogurt in it. Just like our tzatziki, try to grab a high fat content Greek yogurt. It's gonna help this become a little more tender and the flavor's gonna be better. You basically make your dough, let it proof, roll them into 8 even little balls. Then you're just gonna roll those out into about 8-inch rounds. Then after that, medium hot pan. I like to use a nonstick just, for insurance reasons. Tiny bit of olive oil. You pop in your disc, you let it cook for a little bit, give it a flipperooski, cook the other side, maybe flip it again and again, just until they're kind of colored like this, and they look and feel and smell like a Greek pita. 2-3 minutes per side. The whole thing's gonna take you maybe 20-30 minutes. You can totally go to the store and buy a pita and just use that, and that's gonna be fine too. But I will say, when you make your own pitas, it really makes the sandwich special. And we're already going through, all these loops, so why not? Super simple bread recipe. I'll leave that for you in the description below. All right, let's check on our gyros. Oh, baby. Oh! Oh, man. It's like a beef water balloon. It's like a beefy old faithful. Old beefful. All right, let's get this thing off the spit. Oh, okay, hold on. The juice, save the juice. The juice is good.
Juice is good. Very good.
Look at how craggly and dry that is. That's what we're going for. That looks like an actual roasted gyro, We're almost ready to build, but first we gotta slice into this thing. The thing about this style of gyro here is you can see it's crusty and craggly on the outside, but as you slice it and sort of get more and more into its innards, it kind of turns smooth again, right? Not as roasty on the outside. Couple ways you can combat this. One, rip your oven at a super high heat and place it in and let it cook for 10, 15 more minutes. It'll sort of start to form that crust on the outside again. Re-slice it, rinse and repeat. Or you can go ahead and slice this up as thin as you want, pop it into a pan with a little bit of oil and crisp it up in a pan that way. But for me personally, this amount of gyro probably makes 2 to 4 sandwiches, depending on how generous you want to get. And I kind of like the textural variation of those craggly, crusty pieces to sort of those more like warmer, juicier pieces. So I just kind of eat it as is. All right, we got all the components for our gyro ready to go. We are now ready to build. But before we do so, we got to make the one side that I personally can't eat gyros without. Got some Greek feta, dried Greek oregano, and plenty of lemon juice. Greek fries. All right, let's build. Pita down, and I like to have the more blistery side showing. You can't forget the juice. Then we're gonna go down with our tzatziki. Don't be shy with the tzatziki. Sandwich really needs it. It's really good. Go on with our gyro meat. I got the meaty pieces here. We're gonna intertwine with some of our more craggly pieces. Gonna go on with some onion, the oregano in it, then a little bit of tomato. Now, if you really want to be a G, do like they do at the shops, you simply roll it up. Like so. It is finally time to taste. After all that. A lot of work, but it's worth it. All right, man. This thing is glorious. It's so simple, so delicious. Ooh, look at that. Come on. A little more tzat. I'm a fiend for lemon juice with Greek food, so a little bit of that. Come on. Zeus have mercy. This is a great sandwich. You got the spiced meat, the punchy onions with the oregano, the tomato that's kind of watery and acidic, all that creamy tzatziki sauce, just layering it in, all kind of like gripped and caressed by this soft, supple, amazing pita. It's simple. There's like 4 ingredients on this thing, and it's a delicious sandwich. Or is it a sandwich? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is a pita wrap situation like a gyro a sandwich? I might have to contact a lawyer for that one. Gotta try these Greek fries. A little lemon juice on those bad boys. The feta. Oh, I'm gonna need a minute. God damn! Thank the gods for that one. Even you, Hades. Sure, the lemon juice kind of makes the fries a little less crispy, but holy poops. The like salty crispiness with that acidic lemon on there, the briny, I'm gonna say it again, punchy feta, the oregano. In Greece, and at some places around here too, you can get your fries in your gyro, right? Like inside the sandwich. If I was like walking around in Athens with a gyro, that might be the move. But if I'm chilling here, taking my time, enjoying my meal, I want the fries on the side and I want them served like this. I also gotta know, what do you call these things? In New York and out east, they call these gyros, which I think is crazy. It's definitely not that. Then again, I grew up calling these gyros. Think I'm wrong too? I'm not sure. If you're a Greek speaker, let me know in the comments, and also let me know how you say it too. Is this Greek? Is this American? The answer probably lays somewhere in the middle. Without the Greeks, you don't have gyros at all. Without the Americans, you don't have this version. Where does that leave us? It gives us options, and this one's pretty good. Oh. I need to lay with Poseidon, Aphrodite. Is that one a girl? I don't know, man. I'll take any of them, man. TY so much for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like this one, sub to the channel. Join us. The best way to support the channel is the Patreon, aka the grocery fund. And come say what's good in Discord. We have an awesome community over there. I do giveaways. People are talking and chatting and chilling, and it's awesome. So come introduce yourself, say what up. All the recipes are over on my website, so you can check that out. I'm also coming out with some new merch soon, so keep your head on a swivel for that. But the existing merch is also in the description below. TY again, and I will see you next time. How do you say it? How do you say goodbye in Greek?
Addio.
Adnio.
Addio.
Nice.